Hello, my name is Ricardo, and I'm here to tell you one of my acting for screen lessons. Basically, we're just assigned to, find a favorite scene that we adore and just present it to the class and tell us why we like it. And as like a director, what sort of things do you notice in this scene that makes it so good? Like the the lighting, the sounds, what people are involved in it, and all sorts of stuff. So um, let me just tell you what scene it is from, or what where. I'm just tell you, it's from Black Panther. Black Panther two. It was not two, the first one. It was from Black Panther. It came out in 2018. It was a very good movie. I enjoyed it very much. I'll rewatch it over and over again because it was just such a great movie. It's a scene where the main antagonist, Killmonger, so let's just do like a little refresh of what's just happened. Killmonger's the bad guy, and he seeks power as any other villain would. He seeks to go to Black Panther's world, use some of his powerful weapons, and release it to the world. And just that's all he wants. He wants power. He wants to be the one who's the strongest man alive, basically. So he's just killed. Well, he thinks he's killed Black Panther. So he's now crowned king. As a result of that, he then goes to like this magical place where like they give him Black Panther's powers. Where what they give him Black Panther's powers, and he's buried alive because well, he's not dead, but like the reason why they buried him is so that he can talk to one of his ancestors. So someone that he loved, someone who he loves who's died basically, and he basically talks to his father because his father is a loved one, so he gets to talk to his father. And yeah, so let me just tell you what happens in the scene. First thing first is that we have a little flashback to when he was a kid. So when he's back home and he sees an unfamiliar spacecraft flying over his house, as any other kid would, he returns home. He starts running. He's panicking. The camera shot is like a POV to like what it feels like to walk into his house. He opens the door and he sees his father lying there dead with Black Panther prints on his chest. So he kind of expects like someone's murdered my father, and he doesn't know who it is because he has never heard of Black Panther yet. But when he does, he realizes, oh great, my uncle just killed my father basically. But he's heartbroken of what's just happened. So he then becomes like a you know cuckoo, but we don't see that part yet. He's just crying in his dad's arms. Then the scene, he's covered, like his full face is covered when he's buried, and then we're seeing the same POV shot of him walking back to his house. It's like we're reliving his trauma again. He opens the door and immediately we just see the whole house and the same spot where his father died, but he doesn't seem too affected by it, too affected. The first thing he does is he just starts looking for clues. Like he starts tearing the house apart and trying to find any sort of information he can get. And this just shows like how that inner childness he had, that inner kid, that the kid that he was before is gone now. Because after all the stuff he's taken in, like he's taken in so much vengeance, so much anger, betrayal from his home country, well, his dad's home country, that he just hates them completely. That his only mission is just to get power and to take revenge. So we're triggered to that. One thing I will say as well is that during that shot when he enters the house, one thing which I did like about it is that his his whole body is like shaded like dark, but the room is completely bright. Like the like everything just looks so much brighter. The if you look outside, it's like a purpley bluish color. It almost looks like a dreamy. It's like a dreamy world, and to me, it's like what I think the director wanted us to see clearly was that look at the rooms, look how dreamy this room looks, look how organized it is, look how dreamy it looks. Like that was like our main focus really. And to be honest, that was really my main focus. So after that, he's still trying to look for clues. There's a zoom in shot where he's looking at a book and it zooms close to like a ring, and he takes the ring for himself, which he later wears it in the future. And that's when his father appears to talk to him. And when his father appears, the camera shot goes like a shoulder angle. So like the father's here, the son's like has this he's talking to us like here more or less, so the camera's just shooting diagonal. And the kid also becomes the the grown man becomes a kid. So like it kind of like what's the word? I have it here. Um It's like a jump cut. So he's an old grown ass man, and then he switched to a kid. And I think the reason why they've done that is to, at first, of course he was searching the house, like he wasn't really cared like what's going on, but then he slowly just became a kid again, and that released that kind of like, childish kid right there. He began to start talking to his father in a nice way, asking him about his home, and just why the people won't accept him there. Just like any sort of conversation, why not? It seems friendly at first, and then all of a sudden, the father just said to him, "So what? No tears for me, or you don't seem too upset?" And the son replied that, "Oh, everyone dies," highlighting the fact that again, he's still like he's still on his like he still wants his goal. Like he don't care about anything anymore. That's just his main goal. And then the father breaks down a bit, and it just shows that, oh, I've really just let my son down because I've died, and look what he's become now. The main thing that he's really upset about was that he had a choice to either take his son home or to just stay where he is now. But I think it's because that he just didn't know that the people in his home country would accept him and his son for all the stuff that he's done. Like he doesn't want to, have his son deal with the same thing. But everyone makes mistakes, I guess, and you can tell he's very, very guilty because the way he started crying. Well, it was a silent cry, but yeah. And anyway, what other shots do we have? So I already said shoulder level shot, jump cut, zoom in, and I just enjoy like the how it keeps bouncing back to like how he's an adult, how he's a kid, because the entire scene he pops. I think he switches twice, so he's a no 3 times. He's an adult, then a kid, then an adult, then a kid, and then he's a kid one more time. But then he slowly becomes more and more like, I don't care. I want to get this done and over with. And then he becomes an adult again, and then the audience can clearly see that he's gone like that. That soft kid is now gone, and he's now filled with vengeance. And to me, it's just like that's how like you make a villain, because like of course you get like pure evil villains, but I kind of like the broken villains more. So, like they were good at first, but then they slowly become a person who they wish not to be. But I can clearly tell that this guy right here did not want to become a bad guy, but he's just filled with so much hate that has corrupted him. And now look at him. He wants more and more power to just to get the people that killed his father back. And yeah, it was a great scene. I did enjoy it. And what other stuff do I want to say? How do they achieve this image? So, how do they achieve this? I'm assuming that the 2 actors, or 3 actors, had their scripts, went over their script, analyzed it, analyzed the key points, like, okay, what does this phrase mean? That's like the main point you gotta do, like just cooperate with each other and just talk about the scene and think about how do you think this is gonna play out, basically. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. Why did it interest me when I was wait, what is the systematic interest? I think I've already said that. A filmic understanding of everything required. Okay, here's one. So, what team was required in this to make this scene perfect? I would say the camera crew, of course, the lighting crew, because they have to like make him look darker. Well, sounds bad, but like they had to make the room more brighter so the audience can like have a look at the room. Sound crew, okay, they had to add some sounds into it. There was a point where the sounds, well, the music, like the music in the background, it seemed nice and calm because the dad was talking to the kid. But then once the dad realized that my son is gone and now this man is completely crazy, the music sort of like dipped and it kind of changed to make us feel like, oh gosh, he's yeah, he's gone. He's something. It felt more sinister. It was nice and happy and wholesome, but then it just went to dark and sinister, basically. So that's the sound crew's job. Also to add like simple special effects like when he got buried, like the sound of the sand going on, well, consuming him basically. Special effects that kind of highlights, that kind of goes to the light category. I think that's how I say it. I think that's how I said it. Because, you know, make the room, well, house brighter. I guess you could say special effects for like the mysterious ship flying across, because we don't have any mysterious ships around here, do we? So I'm guessing they did that. Makeup crew. Yeah, definitely makeup crew, especially when he got buried alive. And just like, who else have makeup? The the son didn't. Neither did that. Yeah, I'll say that one scene when he gets buried. And oh, another special effect when he actually does get buried, because unless he actually did got buried, they're gonna use special effects. Especially there was one part where he was fully consumed, and you can just see like little particles just flying away, like, and yeah, that's it really. But yeah, that's probably the reason why I love this scene. Really, I just love how it's planned out, and how the relationship between the father and the son, just the father's desperately trying to fix his bond with the son, but the son's, he just don't want none of it anymore. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite scenes of Black Panther. I had so many scenes which I wanted to pick, but Gary was like, no, you gotta pick one. I was like, fine. But other than that, yeah. So, oh yeah, this is my first video, 2024. So until next time.